How do you read?
Victor Tango Golf Romeo Papa, Delhi Control. Read you 5.
Delhi Control, Victor Tango Delta Alpha Sierra on 11 decimal correction 117 decimal niner 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Read you 5. How do you read?
Station calling, Delhi Control. Read you 2. Say again, call sign.
I say again, call sign Victor Tango Delta Alpha Sierra. How do you read?
Victor Tango Delta Alpha Sierra. Delhi Control. Read you 5. Confirm if logging call.
Negative Victor Tango Delta Alpha Sierra.
Roger, please log call. Send call log. Report completion. Delhi Control.
Say again, Delhi Control, Victor Tango Delta Alpha Sierra.
Okay. So, Pritham, very good example, very good practice. ये चीज आपके साथ this is the first thing that could happen in your first attempt of the RT exam. You give a call, but you have not practiced writing it, and you talk, and they will talk, and you will miss out, and you'll start with say again, and it will irritate the examiner to the core, and the examiner will then judge you like that. And afterwards, if you make any mistakes, the examiner might not be able to help you much. So isn't this the rule given to everyone that whatever calls you give, even if practice, you should write it? So Preetham, why were you not writing it?
So actually I was not ready, but I
No
just make a
problem.
call.
No problem. So whenever you're not ready, you should not take a call. This is important rule that I will be teaching you, that I already teach in your final prep sessions, that first be ready for the call, frame the call, be ready to write, frame the call in your mind so that you can spot any mistakes in your mind, and then make the call by logging the call. So exactly, Pritham is not ready, but he was ready to speak, but he was not ready for the call. So we need to give ourselves some time before we take the call. Generally, what happens, the moment examiner says you can start transmitting, we panic because for us, it's a race. It's like the trigger shot in the race, right? Somebody fires that mock gun and you all have to run. This is not a time constraint exam. It's not like whoever will finish first in the 25 minutes is going to get the RT license. Correct? Doesn't it make sense? It is about who gives me the quality. 25 minutes are yours. It's like football. Everybody will get the same time. It doesn't matter who's going to score the first goal. It's about who scores the maximum number of goals. Here, for you, it will be who scores the maximum number of marks. So very good call, very clean call. I like that, Preetham. Now you have to focus that any single call that you give in practice, you have to write it. Okay? And you will be good. Simple. That way we'll be practicing more than we have to. And couple of changes I would need you to make in your replies, but I could have helped you do it if you would have given me a log. That's why log is very more important for us, even when we practice. But good call. Gurpreet, very good call. And Preetham, very good call. With practice, you will make it very perfect, Preetham. A slight difference could be figured out by someone, the way you said, I say again, call sign, like that. But it was good. Overall, it was good. Very warm welcome, everyone. I really like starting the sessions with readability checks. And if there are any corrections we get to see, it's the best thing for everyone. So, very good morning, everyone. We have Gurpreet, Rohita and Preetham, very warm welcome. Prerit is here, Vignesh, Nakul, Gulshan. Vignesh, no room for complacency. We need to grow, we need to grow, grow, grow. Even if you feel you are there, you need to get there. Figure that out. What is it that is left? Very important. Same goes to any student who have had some experience with their RT exams. Okay. Nakul, Gulshan, very warm welcome. Gulshan, nice to see you back in class. Jyotsna, very warm welcome. I hope practice is going on well. Suchita, good morning. Rani, good morning. Om, very nice to see you. Play the guitar. It's his image. I don't think, Om, I've seen you live ever, even once. Sajal, very warm welcome. Nice to see you doing it. And I remember a couple of clarifications I'll be giving you. Don't worry. If you need anything on priority, you'll text me pan. Students with Delhi exams, if you have any priority based requests, you can just send pan in your messages. Usaid is here. Usaid, I hope it's all going well. Finally, you're going to taste one aspect of your flight. Too soon, I would say, with respect to how you have begin. Let's see how it goes. Then Zanvi is here. Zanvi, good call. Today also you'll be practicing couple of calls. Karishma is here. Pooja is here. Nice to see all students. Yukti is here. Very good morning, students. And I think we have, there's always one call sign that I am unable to, identify. I think I'm losing memory. Yeah? I think I'm expanding my memory. I think it's Sagar. Sagar is joining in today. First live. Good to see you, Sagar. Take it seriously. Very nice. And finally, Aditya is joining. So remember what I told you yesterday. Today we'll be doing practice calls first. So I hope you remember the mandatory requirements with respect to how to reply, how to use correction, negative, say again, readbacks. Readbacks are very important. Today I'm going to give you a couple of points about where readbacks are important. We'll start with that list and then we'll be practicing a few live calls. Okay. Whoever is being asked to practice the live call, you please focus on it with respect to everything taught to you and then wait for the feedback, work on the feedback. And if there is any feedback and any improvement given to you, area of improvement, work on it, improve so that it reflects in your next call. If you get a feedback and you don't, let's say I find couple of areas of improvement. If I say that and if you are unable to include that in your next performance, then the exercise is going to waste. So you have to bring some changes with respect to what you know right now and what you're told to do differently or in an improved manner. Simple. So remember, you have to allow yourself the room to learn a few more things with respect to your giving calls. I'm being very direct about it so that you know what is required. Like always, before we go ahead, please discuss a couple of your doubts. Sajal, why don't you discuss with your doubts one by one? And anyone who has doubts, please get started with your doubts. One by one, you can raise your hand. Sajal, I'm giving the microphone to you. Just read out that call, reshare that with me, and discuss what your doubt is. If you are in the capacity to talk.
Yes, sir. So should I read the call?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay. Sir, so the question was, you are over Ibuda, you see a Boeing 737 pass your level from about 4 nautical miles, gave necessary report. So my call was Varanasi Control, Victor Tango Alpha Lima Kilo, Air prox safety not assured, Victor Tango Alpha Lima Kilo, 1400 at 1355, a Boeing 737 passed our level at about 4 nautical miles from right to left position over Ibuda, radial 094 100 DME outbound Jabalpur, flight level 270, Alpha 791, estimating Revo 1410, ETA Ranchi 1425.
So it's a very good call. Sajal, couple of improvements I want you to make first with the way you have logged in. Where you have written from right to left, you have written L hyphen L, R hyphen L. You just simply write right to left. Don't put a hyphen there. Okay. Just write right to left over there. And position where you have written POS and then you have put some 3 dots. Don't do that. Okay. If you don't say position, it's fine. You can directly say over Ibuda also. Or if you're writing position, try to write either the abbreviation of position or complete position. Don't write position like this. These are 2 errors in the way you have logged in. Otherwise, with respect to the structure of the report, it's a good call. And yeah, 1 second. I want someone who has learned this. Anyone, raise your hand. What category of the air prox will the distance 3 to 5 nautical miles come? Is it risk of collision? Safety not assured? No risk of collision? Risk not determined? Jyotsna, please go ahead.
Approx safety not assured.
Air prox, safety not assured. Safety is not assured. We are not confident about our safety because that aircraft had crossed very close to us, 3 to 5 nautical miles being the distance. Students have not learned it by now. Don't worry, you will get time. Usaid, what's on your mind? Doubt or
No,
answer?
No, sir, I was willing to give the answer. Sir,
What is your answer? Tell me.
Also, safety not assured.
Safety not assured. Very good. Zanvi, what about you? What's the answer?
So safety not assured.
Safety not assured. Okay. Good. Correct. Safety not assured. Very good. Nukul, how do you feel about this call that Sajal gave? Now, Sajal was reading out this call which he had already logged in, so his rate of speech was a little fast. So students are wondering if he's giving live call, not. Okay. 1 minute. I'm just trying to share that with everyone.
So it was good call, but if I had a chart, so we can make it perfect also.
Yeah,
Proper
somebody,
route.
please give me the chart number. Aditya, very warm welcome. Please focus and learn. Jita bhi samajh rahe ho, observe and learn. It's a master class. A few topics you might not have studied so far, but irrespective of that, very nice to see you. Yeah. Sajal, chart number.
Sir, 1 minute. Sir, it's chart number 4.
Sajal, what is 1 minute in RT, Baba?
Stand by.
Hmm.
Chart 4, Indore to Ranchi. Route is Whiskey 10, Alpha 791, Whiskey 100.
Nukul, got it?
Affirm, sir.
So, now what do you feel about it?
Yes, sir. Good call.
Good call, okay. Zanvi, similar situation. Would you like to frame a call? I'll read the question again. Everybody write down the question. After Zanvi, I'll be looking for Rani to give it to me. Okay. Pritam, your views. Are you thorough with AirProx codes?
Negative, sir. Victor Tango Delta Alpha Sierra.
Sorry, what? Negative? You didn't read through AirProx? आपने अब तक किया नहीं है क्या AirProx?
नहीं सर, अभी तक किया नहीं.
आपके लेक्चर्स में नहीं आया AirProx अभी तक?
नहीं, मेरा अभी लास्ट का 3 लेक्चर बाकी है, वो अभी तक किया नहीं मैंने.
अच्छा, नो प्रॉब्लम, नो प्रॉब्लम. कहीं टाइम इश्यू आ रहा है क्या? टाइम मैनेजमेंट, प्रीतम?
हाँ सर, थोड़ा काम था, बट
समझ
मोस्ट
रहा हूँ.
प्रोबेबली मोस्ट प्रोबेबली आज 2 कर दूंगा, कल एक कर दूंगा, हो जाएगा, कल तक हो जाएगा.
हाँ, इसीलिए अच्छा वो आपने बताया. आई वाज थिंकिंग आपका 13 तक हो चुका है. ओके ओके ओके, नो वंडर. ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम. करो इसको अच्छे से, नहीं तो वो रह जाएगा ना, तो कहीं ना कहीं आपको डिफिकल्टी हो सकती है कुछ चीजें ग्रास्प करने में जो आगे हम कर रहे हैं, है ना? तो उस हिसाब से तुम्हारे डाउट्स बाय डिफॉल्ट थोड़े और रिफाइन हो जाएंगे एंड कम हो जाएंगे अगर आप वो फाइनल 2 लेक्चर्स कर लोगे तो, है ना? अच्छे से टाइम निकाल के करो, ओके? एंड मुझे लूप में रखो। स्टूडेंट्स हु हैव बीन असाइंड अप टू L13 एंड यू हैव नॉट डन इट, you let me know today, okay? So that accordingly I'm going to, you know, devise what we are going to do and where. Okay, no problem, no problem. प्रीतम, इच्छा है करने की कि नहीं हो गया वहां से करना, अब नहीं करना, ऐसा कुछ है इंटेंट? आर यू विलिंग टू डू इट?
नहीं सर, करना है, कल तक हो जाएगा सर।
या टेक योर टाइम, नो रश। क्वालिटी इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट।
नहीं, इसलिए
No
मैंने आपको
issues.
सेंड भी नहीं किया था जो बाकी का 3 लेक्चर था।
I know, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm all right with that. बस मुझे लूप में रहना and focus on quality only. अच्छा, you're not rushing. Okay. So who's giving me the call? Okay, I'm going to share the question, right? Where is it? Where is it? 1 second. Sharing the screen. All right. Students, today we have to go a little fast because screen share is loading. So let's make sure that we are very fast. Okay. So this is the example. This is the question. And say the chart number again.
Chart 4.
Chart 4. We'll write down chart number 4. You are over Ibuda. Ibuda is a waypoint. Okay. You see another aircraft with respect to this question, Boeing 747. Pass your level from about 04 nautical miles. Give necessary report. This report is called air prox is the code. Air prox stands for air proximity. Proximity means, let's say you are flying nicely on your cruising altitude. With respect to this flight plan, cruising altitude is flight level 270. This is your right, this is your left with respect to this flight track that you have. So suddenly you see another aircraft pass your level in this direction. That too only 4 nautical miles. 1 nautical mile approximation you can convert in feet is 6,000 feet. Okay. 1 nautical mile is equal to 1.85 kilometers. So 4 nautical miles is a little shy of 8 kilometers. 8 kilometers means if you are in Mumbai, I can actually see buildings from a terrace up to 8 to 10 kilometers. I can actually see buildings on the ground. In the sky, probably the visibility will be much better. A big aircraft like Boeing 737 can be visible. It's not a good sign. Why is not a good sign, students? Because even if I'm flying at a speed, let's say 250 knots, it means I'm traveling at 250 nautical miles per hour. So how many, so 4 nautical miles in how much time? Just think about it. Divide this thing, 250. Approximately, students, in 6 minutes, I'm going to travel 25 nautical miles. In 6 minutes. It means 12 nautical miles I'm going to travel in 3 minutes. It means 4 nautical miles I might cross in just 1 minute or so. Okay? Just 1 minute or so. If there would have been even a 1 minute speed variation in my airspeed right now, and if I would have been ahead by 1 minute than I am right now, then I would have had a collision with this aircraft. Who on the earth is managing the traffic that they allowed this intersection? Who? It is air traffic controller's responsibility to make sure that the proximity is reduced. Who's going to lose? Me as a pilot, I'm going to lose. So why do you think this happened? I'm going nicely like this, and suddenly I see an aircraft travel like this. This is the case right now, like this. This is air proximity. The proximity is calculated with respect to distances. When your distance is 0 to 3 nautical miles, you say risk of collision. 0 to 3 nautical miles. These are the references given to us. 3 to 5 nautical miles, safety not assured. These are codes we need to use to report. So generally when this happens, we have to report it to ATC, because if ATC knew it, ATC would have told us to keep a lookout. ATC didn't know this. So probably this Boeing 737 is lost or has an emergency, or maybe it's somebody who's just doing some unlawful interference. Nobody knows what the truth is. Maybe some air traffic controller gave the incorrect clearance, or maybe they have altimeter problems in their case. Whatever the case is, we don't know. But your job as a pilot is to report. As a pilot, you have another job apart from ensuring safety of the aircraft. It is to report things that you see which are not everyday things. Whenever there is an extreme change in weather, you are meant to report that. When you see somebody else in danger, you're meant to report that. If you see something sudden, a UFO or something, you need to report that. Something that you cannot, if you see a drone, you have to report that. If you see a man flying, you have to report that. With respect to jetpacks and all, you have to report anything that is out of the ordinary. And if you see any aircraft at your level, if you can see it, you have to report it. Now, as a pilot, you'll have to approximate the distance, because generally when you see 3 nautical miles, 4, 5, you have systems in the aircraft, ADS-B, ADS-C, airborne collision avoidance system, traffic collision avoidance system. Those systems are determined where simple codes can help you approximate the distances on the display associated with those instruments. So from there, you can determine actually where your what the proximate distance is with respect to such traffic, who is crossing your flight level. So that's where the pilot actually gets this information from with respect to nautical miles. But in the exams, they directly give it to you. Now, this question can be changed in multiple ways. They could say you see it on your ADS-B, you see it on your iCATS, TCAS. You just spot for the distance. And according to the distance, you name your air prox report. So the code of the report is always starting with air prox and followed by the code which resembles your distance. Air prox, safety not assured. And after every report, you start with your aircraft call sign again. So the first 2 Ws are with respect to the call structure. And ideally, it's not bad to give your call sign when you start with your report. So here we say this is a present time. And we say just 5 minutes ago, a Boeing 737 passed our level at about 4 nautical miles from right to left. At here, because I'm mentioning my flight level, I should directly mention flight level 270 so that it makes sense. But if you say it later also, it's fine. But you have to understand this. When Preetham was asking me, sir, this call structure thing, how do we really figure out when to give what? I wanted to say this point, which I'm saying now, and I want this to be heard by everyone. This is what I had decided then only when I got this doubt. That how do you choose what information to give first and what to be followed apart from the call structure rules? You understand what is of major concern in that situation. If it's something to do with altitude, then you have to mention your flight level first. If it's something to do with diversions, then you have to mention all elements of your location first, flight level and radial DME and route, so that we know how much time it will take for you to come down as well as reach the destination. So that way you decide which is the point which is more closer to your condition right now and speak those first on priority. Rest of the info can be said later on. Okay, so that is how you figure it out. You understand the question well. So it's all about putting yourself back into the PIC seat and being aware of the situation. Situational awareness is the key here. As a student, you will only be able to comfortably clear your RT exams when you have some amount of situational awareness. But due to the pressure of first time exams and the panic, we lose our situational awareness. This is human nature. Okay, so you be careful about it. So making the correction here, I will either write abbreviation for position. If I don't know the abbreviation, then I'll write position completely. I hope you all have gone through the abbreviations also. If you have not gone through the abbreviations, let me know. I'll reshare those documents with you all. Put that in the parking lot and request it towards the end of the session. Okay. Position, I think this is the abbreviation. If I'm not wrong, please correct me on this. Please verify someone. If I'm wrong, then please correct. Then position over Ibuda, radial, correctly written, 10 DME outbound. Generally, your DME and your radial should be connected to the same VOR because VOR and DMEs are co-located. So I hope this radial is with respect to Jabalpur only. Although in the exams, you are allowed to keep hypothetical data. So it's all good for us. Then flight level, we have already mentioned. Route, Alpha 79er 1. Estimating Arrivo, ETA Ranchi, 1425. Looks like a good call otherwise. So any doubt on this? Sajal?
Done,
Or
sir.
did you want to check which ATC we have called?
Yes, sir.
Are you not sure about it?
So we can check.
No, I'm asking you, are you confused about this or are you done with the confusion?
Sir, it's valency control only.
No, I'm saying, do you have any doubt on this question?
No, sir. Negative.
Okay, good. Okay. So Zanvi, are you ready to give me a call on this?
Affirm, sir.
1 second. Okay, I'll tell you start and then you can start. Everybody has to log it.
Excuse me, sir.
Don't just wait and sit there. Everybody will log what any student is transmitting. Okay. Yeah, Seth, go ahead.
Sir, position is PSN.
PSN. Very good.
Papa Sierra November.
Very good. I was just waiting for someone to confirm that. Position is PSN. So I think with respect to that, Sajal has written it correctly. We just don't need, no, it's POS, right? PSN for position, everyone. Very good. Students, आपने अगर नहीं देखा है अब तक, if you have not yet done abbreviations, start reading abbreviations daily. You don't have to mug up. PS, position. You're only, and Vignesh, try to be verbal these days, okay? But it's okay. Try to be verbal. I've been saying that again and again. When I say text, then only you all will text. PSN. Jyotsna, with respect to your question, do we have to write call sign 2 times? It's a report. Whenever you start the report by the name of the report, after that, you start the report with your call sign. Remember this. That's why the call sign is twice. I'm saying this again and again, students. Any report, you'll just start with W1, W2, name of the report, and then start the report with your call sign. Is that clear, everyone? That's why the call signs are twice. Why? Because it's a report and a report will always start with the aircraft making the report. Kindly confirm if everybody's got it. This point is very important. Siddharth, warm welcome. Very nice to see you. Okay.
Good morning, sir. Thank you.
Very good morning. So, okay, done. You will only be using approved or specified. Students, you'll only be using approved or specified. What specified? Abbreviations. Okay. Anything that you're learning, Any doubt that is being resolved, make a note of it and study it. Otherwise, you'll forget it. Okay. Chalo. Zanvi, you'll start.
Varanasi Control Victor Tango Zulu November Victor Air prox safety not assured Victor Tango Zulu November Victor 1400 at 1355 Boeing 737 passed our flight level 270 from left to right position over Ibuda radial 09450 DMA outbound Jabalpur estimating correction flight level 270 Alpha 791 estimating arrival 1410 ETA Ranchi 1415.
Victor Tango, Zulu November Victor, Varanasi Control, Roger Airprox, climb flight level 290 at 80 DME or less. Report reaching.
Wilco Victor Tango Zulu November Victor Varanasi Control Victor Tango Zulu November Victor position 80 DME outbound Jabalpur on radial 094 flight level 270 Alpha 791 leaving flight level 270 for flight level 290.
Okay. So I want everybody to focus. Now, Zanvi, a very good call. Excellent. Perfect call. Okay. Students, we have to avoid fillers, but it's okay if you get it here and there. It's okay. But you should avoid fillers. Other than that, it was a very good call. But Zanvi, what have we taught you about any clearance or instruction given to you? You have to give me an exact readback. Why have you
Yes,
not
sir.
given me a readback?
After I said Wilco, I realized I have to give it.
Okay, okay. No, students, we cannot allow ourselves to not be thorough with this. Write down, everyone. Mandatory readback has to be given for every information, instruction, clearance given to you by ATC. Okay. Remember this, students. This is where we might lose marks. We have to be aware of the situation. Now, what happens? Generally, we think I get one question, I have to give one answer, my job is done. So I let go of my guard. You cannot let go of your guard because it's not an exam like that. It is an exam where they could simulate anything with you with respect to any reply. That's where any question, if you study also, it can vary with respect to the response given to you by the examiner. An examiner can change their responses for the same question for 10 different people. So how will be the same solution be helpful to all of you all? Your first call could be the same, but what if the examiner wants to see your capacity with respect to readbacks and compliance? We cannot afford to lose marks there. This can happen to the best of us if we are not focused enough that, okay, if sir is saying readback is important, then readback is also important. But generally what happens as students, we don't realize all these other things. We just think that, okay, one question, one answer, one question, one answer. But RT exam is not like that. Okay. RT follows certain rules. You have to abide by those rules. That is RT. Students, there are 10-day courses, 15-day courses abroad that they teach RT, because there the requirement is very simpler. Why is it simpler? Because for CPL, they need 1500 hours build up. So they know by the time the student has got CPL, but building hours from 200 to 1500, he or she will definitely learn entire RT with practice. Only then they will be giving you a commercial pilot's job. In India, you are lucky that you are eligible for a job just within 200 to 250 hours of flight training. So don't you think you should take these efforts that are much lesser compared to flying 1300 hours plus the money that you'd be investing in 1300 hours? Just think about it. Still, everybody wants shortcut. It is not right, right? Can there be shortcut? Will you do something like that wherein you got 250 hours CPL, you will buy 1300 hours and fly an airline plane? Does that sound logical? So this is the difference we need to understand. Why our exams are so difficult at the moment. The day this rule changes in India, everybody is going to have a tough time because we know it will be so expensive for us to build those and how time consuming it will be to get our jobs. But then your RT exam will be easy. Now you choose what would you prefer. A tough RT exam with 200 hours or easy RT exam with 1500 hours. And understand, you have to put in the hard work. It's not difficult. You have somebody to teach you. You just listen, understand, and improve. That's all you have to do. Performance will be automatic. Remember this, everyone. Because half of the class I have seen always doesn't care about readback in their conscious efforts. When we don't put conscious effort in the exam, we'll not remember to do it. That's it. Nobody is right or wrong here. It's the way we are learning and the things that we are choosing not to emphasize more upon. You have to emphasize on everything that I'm telling you. Every word I say to you is important and it's only for your benefit with respect to your common goal to get RT. Right? Something to think about. Zanvi, excellent call. You realized, Wilco, you ended with your call sign. With this example, we might make mistakes in the exam. I keep making it. Everybody does it. It's to err is human, right? We all make mistakes. We should correct the mistakes so that our mission is not compromised. With respect to that, Zanvi, very nice. I was just thinking, as an examiner, I was thinking what to do. Is he going to say, or am I asking her to go to next question, or am I going to do something more? Quickly, without a gap of even 5 seconds, you started with the call. Very nice. So you covered up the flaw that you unknowingly did. That is what I appreciate. So students should always come back quickly if examiner has not said anything or not asked you to go to the next question. Okay. And then, good, you tried to do it. But here, a critical element was a mismatch. We were told that you have to reach flight level 290 at 02 correction, 80 DME or less. Let's say you are outbound, your aircraft is here, 50 DME. And this line here is 80 DME. As you go ahead, it will be 100 DME. As you go away from the station, your DME is going to increase. So they are saying, if this is your flight level 270, you climb to flight level 290 before by 80 DME or less. So you make sure you have reached that level by 80 DME or less. Don't reach that level after 80 DME or more. It means this area over here from 80 DME just below flight level 290 is critical area. You don't enter that. So what they are trying to say, follow the green line, that you try and get here by this point or before this point. Do not do this. Do not go with the red line, go with the green line. This is the meaning over here. So that is one technical glitch here. Now examiner might deduct marks or might not deduct marks if your language is clean. But why not try to be perfect in our calls is what I will always tell. So here you would say, probably you could have said position and this PN, okay, PSN 60 DME outbound. And then you could said, leaving flight level 270 for flight level 290 will reach flight level 290 at 80 DME or less. Wilco, this Wilco here will be for report reaching. And then you will end with your call sign. If it's a readback, here it's not a readback because you have constructed the call again, so it's fine. Now this slight differences will make your call perfect. Now we could find an examiner there who might be looking for a perfection, and if he or she doesn't get perfection, they might be a little more critical of you compared to other examiner who will be less critical of you. So these two things, if you fix, even after you made initial mistake with respect to readback, you can correct it with the way the call you have been given, but you have to focus on the instructions, 80 DME or less. So you cannot start at 80 DME. If you are starting at 80 DME, follow the yellow line. This is what you're going to do. So you're going to spend much more time in the critical airspace right now. Do you understand, students? So it is not healthy for us. So here the situational awareness is not there in the student. So the examiner will be like, go study and come back again. Because the examiner is afraid that if the student is not having situational awareness, why would I give them RT? Because they might think that RT is the only difference between you being eligible to get a CPL or not being eligible to get a CPL. So that's why sometimes you will see people will ask you, examiners, is it your first attempt? This is a very good learning for everyone. It's a master class, remember. Student who is practicing, of course, students will work on their individual one. But this example of clearance given to you, so many DME or less or so many DME or more, you have to follow that, and this is how you learn. This is for everyone. Everything that I say is for everyone. But the calls that I'm correcting, definitely the individual will also be correcting the call. Any questions? Zanvi, have you understood what
Affirm,
needs
sir.
to be done? Any thoughts? What do you feel about it?
Negative, sir.
I really like this rate of speech that you have built up. Very nice. Good speech, and it's consistent, I would say. Very nice. Good. I was able to really write it very properly. So if the other person can write it clearly, very nice. And it's not slow, I would say. So that way it was very good. Make sure we practice our readbacks, everyone. Perfect readbacks, instant readbacks, and ending our readback with call signer point we did in the last masterclass. November Kilo Charlie, please go ahead with your doubt or question.
Sir, here we give the report after 6 or 5 minutes later. So can we say for the position that radial 0, 9 or 4, 15 DME outbound Ibuda?
See, DME, if you're using, then it will only be with relation to VOR. Because
Okay.
DME is co-located with VOR. Ibuda will not have DME if there is no VOR on Ibuda. Is there a VOR on Ibuda on the chart?
No, sir, no.
So you cannot say DME with respect to Ibuda. Students, focus. These are little errors. You can say nautical miles if you have to approximate here with respect to Ibuda. But understand your VOR will give you good range, students. Not very high, but some range will be given to you. So 80, 90, 100, up to that, you will get a VOR range with respect to the past VOR only. So you stick to the VOR radial only, even though you're crossing a waypoint. So I would suggest, Nakul, instead of going with Ibuda DME, you say DME with respect to the VOR, either the one that is ahead of you, if you have tuned from the behind VOR to the next VOR. If that is far off and this is still closer, the earlier one, with in this case it is Jabalpur, then just say it with respect to Jabalpur. Examiner has also given us instructions with respect to Jabalpur DME only, that within 80 nautical miles or before, I want you to be on flight level 2980. This is for your own safety.
Affirm, sir.
Any points, any doubts, Nukul?
No, sir.
What is no?
Negative.
How do we correct our mistakes?
Correction. Negative, sir.
No, sir. Correction, negative, and with your call sign. Students, make it very RT. Okay. Usaid, what's your doubt?
सर ले विल हैव ले सर ले के पास डीएमयू और रेडियल होगा सर चार्ट 3 चार्ट नंबर
VOR
3
सिंबल है ले एयरपोर्ट पे तो होगा, नहीं है तो नहीं
सर
होगा। क्या बोल रहे हो?
सर नहीं है वहां पर सर सर्कल है।
हाँ, तो सर्कल है, तो सर्कल का मतलब है एनडीबी, तो एनडीबी के हिसाब से हमारा नेविगेशन हो रहा है वहां पर। NDB can also help you for terminal approaches, departures, en route navigation and all. NDB है वहां पे। NDB के हिसाब से आप relative bearing देते हो। NDB will give you relative bearing. Relative bearing is very simple, although it's not there much required. If you're going like this is your heading. And if your NDB is here, then this becomes your relative bearing. Relative bearing 080, like this. You follow clockwise directional measurement. So I think Leh will have VOR, of course, but possibly it might not have VOR also. We don't know. We'll have to check actual Jepson charts for that. So you go ahead with your charts and go ahead with whatever is given to you in your question and follow that. शायद कब जा रहे हो आप ले?
सर मैं हो ही आया।
ऑब्जर्व नहीं किया वहां पे कुछ एंटेना मिले नहीं रनवे के पास? जनरली एक बड़ा हाउसिंग होता है,
हाँ सर,
एक
हाँ सर,
सर्कुलर ऐसा एंटेना होता है, वहां पे VOR अगर ऐसा है, लंबे लंबे ऐसे रॉड्स होते हैं बहुत सारे, एंड एक बीच में बहुत बड़ा पोल होता है, तो जनरली वो होता है, मतलब VOR है वहां पे।
सर हम तो फिर डीएमई की जगह आरबी रिलेटिव बेयरिंग मेजर
रिलेटिव बेयरिंग का भी एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट होता है। रिलेटिव बेयरिंग वाज यूज्ड इन ओल्डन डेज, but it had a lot of errors, so we invented VOR, students. So now we have both systems in place. Primary is VOR.
सर ले के लिए फिर हम रिलेटिव बेयरिंग यूज करेंगे आरबी।
देखते हैं, अभी वहां का थोड़ा क्रिटिकल है नेविगेशन। जनरली आई थिंक VHF navigation is possible. NDB is LF and MF navigation. It will always be there, but because of mountains, it might not be very practicable. But I think दोनों होगा यार। I think Leh will have VOR. If Leh has a VOR code, 3-letter code, then definitely it has a VOR, generally speaking. Because it's an important place, right? It's a very important place. Not like a small remote area anymore. You can check it through a satellite image also, students. If you know how the antennas look, you can just check on your Google Maps or whatever maps you use and see the layout of the airport and see the different antennas. NDBs generally are not small contained antennas. The beacons for NDBs generally are widespread, and the antennas structured in the olden days were huge antennas, multiple poles connected by wires. It used to take a huge ground. And near to my place also, where I am right now, I'm in the last suburb of Mumbai, you could say. So from there, um, we have this ground station, which is an NDB station only. So you'll see airplanes. If you go on the terrace, if you lay down on the terrace to look at the sky in the night, you'll always keep seeing airplanes. You'll see this plane going like this. It means it is going for landing from that runway. Then you will see airplanes going there. It means they have generally departed from the runway and they're going Delhi bound. It is like that. So they all are navigating, especially there are aircrafts that will generally go like this, go like this, and go like this. Because there is a navigational aid here. That's why. So they all are referring this navigation aid, but not everybody is following the same line. Some people are a little here, some people are a little here, like that. So yeah. This LFMF give you a larger range. NDBs can give you larger range because they follow surface wave compared to VORs. But anyway, that is more about general knowledge. Are we
Sir, last out, sir.
wait, stand by, Said. Vignesh, what's your question?
Sir, in the first call, the air prox distance is missing. So is it mandatory to mention that, or because safety not assured also gives us range of the passing?
Everything given to you in the question is important. Now, safety not assured has a range from 3 to 5, right? If you don't give 4 nautical miles, then there could be a doubt that it could be 3 point something. It could be 3, it could be 5, it could be 4. We don't know. So we have to mention the nautical mile distance also as it is given in the question. Students, whatever is given to you in the question, you have to mention it in your call. So what's the doubt, Vignesh? Are you saying is this call doesn't have? So
Yes.
yeah. Students, just because one example is like this, you cannot infer that whatever I've taught you will change. Vignesh, understand, your mind should not be tricked.
Okay.
You
Roger.
should be like, sir, in this call, the nautical mile distance is not mentioned. That confidence is what I need. Students, whenever anyone is giving a call, by default, everybody else has to assess it. I'm telling it again. Vignesh, you should know this. Others who don't know, you know it now. You have to assess it, look for mistakes from your perspective, and say, sir, I could have added this, I could have added that proactively, even if your name is not called out. So now, Vignesh, you're on the back foot. I don't want you to be on the back foot. I want you to be on the front foot with respect to this example, okay, not overall. If you're on the front foot, what does it mean? It means 4 nautical miles is missing. If you're on the back foot, so sir, I think it's not mandatory to mention 4 nautical miles, so I'll also not do it. No. You stick with what you know and discuss it like that. We don't have to be diplomatic here, students. Whatever you feel, you speak about your call. The reason here, I'll tell you why in this call, that is not a big issue because the call quality is excellent. When your call quality is excellent, couple of errors here and there will not impact at all. This is an advantage of having a call as good as this call, students. Everybody should learn from this that although from left to right at about 4 nautical miles, only this is missing. If you give such a beautiful call, examiner might say report approx distance also. An examiner will do that and you will say at about 4 nautical miles and he or she will ask you to go to the next question then. Such is the examination. Now here what happened, the examiner was not worried about it. The examiner simply gave me a clearance to ensure probably the ATC with respect to the examiner is expecting other aircrafts also being given that clearance. And probably we're expecting other aircrafts to be following that route due to some diversion at flight level 270. So you're quickly asked to climb to that first. So that after that they can tell you. So once you climb there, 290, other planes will be going through 270. It will not impact anymore. That is the actual condition that is happening in this case. But they'll not be telling you all that. They'll just quickly ask you to go up. So now if the examiner is responding, that error is gone now. You might not be losing any marks other than a point, 1 point or 2 points over there because of the way the call is. It's a very good call. You have to focus on the quality, students. 1, 2 things not said by mistake. Still, if your call is good, you will easily clear the exam. But you have to have this quality. Good rate of speech, everything, abbreviations and everything used, logging is done properly. Of course, Anvi, you should mention that the distance as it is mentioned in the question. So it goes back to that first point that before giving the call, verify everything that, okay, am I covering everything or not? So whenever I am giving call, me, myself, as a student, I keep looking at the chart. I keep looking at the question again and again. I don't look anywhere else. I just look at my log and ensure that I have not missed anything. I keep checking every time. This is what the pilot does. Every time they keep checking everything every now and then to ensure they are on the right track. But nevertheless, couple of mistakes we all will do. Nobody's going to be perfect. So what's going to help you clear the exam is the quality. Do you understand? Everyone?
Affirm, sir.
Students, you have to end with your call signs if you're replying. Why are you not following RT in a normal conversation? And why are others not responding? We are 20 students, one instructor, and I'm only getting couple of responses and acknowledgement. Didn't I teach you in the first class the importance, first masterclass, I23, the importance of acknowledgement? When I'm asking an open question, why are you not practicing that? And by the way, Zanvi, I don't think I've got your log. Please share your log also. Anyone who's doing a live call in a
Affirm,
live
sir.
class, also share your logs. Sajal, what's your doubt?
Sir, there was one question that you are over Pratapgarh, lose altimeter redundancy, no ATC responding. So I took pan call at pan all aircrafts and day waiting on on, all exterior lights on, keep a lookout. So after that, the question was ATC is back in contact, take action. So I will start with pan cancel pan, right?
See, that pan that you had made was for all aircrafts.
Right.
ATC is back in touch. You might not have to say pan cancel pan over here. You will cancel pan or cancel distress with the same authority where you had raised an urgency or distress.
Okay.
So if you want to cancel that call with respect to other aircrafts, you could say pan, cancel pan, all aircraft in the vicinity of so-and-so place, Boeing Victor Tango Alpha Lima Kilo, ATC back in contact, aircraft enable RVSM, rejoining route over here and here. I say again, cancel pan for those aircrafts after you get clearance from the ATC. So here it will be a simple call, ATC back in contact, whichever ATC it is, Varanasi control, India 123, 15 nautical miles right of so-and-so route, at 10 nautical miles, had lost altimeter redundancy, aircraft unable RVSM, had deviated on our own. Present position, so-and-so nautical miles abeam this route, on deviated track, flight level 275, whatever flight level you have changed, 500 feet or 300 feet. In this case, you'll do 500 feet. Would like to request to rejoin the route and descend to non-RVSM flight level. Mention that non-RVSM flight level.
Right. Sir.
Estimating rejoining route, so-and-so point, flight level, so-and-so time. Request, descend, and rejoining clearance. That's how you're going to make this call to this ATC. When this ATC gives you clearance or whatever reply they give, look out for the reply, read back properly. And after that, if you wish, you can go and transmit to all aircraft, cancel pan. It is possible. But remember, you might not have to do it. Why? Because that all aircraft call was also on the same frequency. And this frequency is also the same. Why were you making it on the same frequency? Because the ATC which you lost, other aircrafts are also tuned to the same ATC in the vicinity. So they will already be listening to your call, whoever is tuned. So you might not have to say that call again to them. But out of courtesy, you want to do it, then you can say that. Pan, 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 pan. So you say pan, pan, cancel pan, pan, all aircraft in the vicinity. India 123. I say again, cancel pan, pan, ATC, back in contact. Simple. And you can end that for them, but the frequencies are going to be the same here. So they might already know that you have been resolved. So they will not be on a lookout for you anymore. Do you understand this?
Right, sir. Yes.
Students, it's a very good thing to master and practice your calls after deviation. How to do it? It is a lengthy call, but it is not difficult. Anyone who wants to revisit these examples, you have a good provision. You can always replay this part of the lecture and study it again. You don't have to be in a rush. Oh, I missed it, sir. It's so fast. I wish I had it in writing. And you can increase or decrease the playback speed also. Use technology in the right manner. It takes me a lot of effort to do what I'm doing right now with respect to the uploads and this and that. It's not very easy. It is for your advantage. So make the best out of it. Actually, it sounds much better than a live classroom, I would say, where what's once said, it cannot be repeated again. So this is what we are planning, the time when we get our actual offline classes ready, which will take some time. We're not doing it now, but we are going to use the same techniques, It's going to be difficult, but yeah, so that you have the access to revisit it again and again for your own benefit. So take advantage of it. Okay. So Rani, I have a task for you. I want you to give me this call, but I want you to listen to this and start with the read back. Okay. So you will write in the ATC section what I'm going to tell you, assuming you had given me a similar call with the similar position as in the question. Are you up for the task?
Yes, sir. Affirm, sir.
Okay. Before that, we have one more question. What is the meaning of manifest list? Manifest generally means the list of passengers. Okay. With respect to aviation, manifest means list of passengers. Prasad, is it out clear?
Affirm, sir. Victor Tango inform Sierra Delta.
So now you know why that airplane series is called Manifest, because it's the list of passengers is what the name of that series is, which was apparently very famous. But when I saw it, I realized, what man, they're just unnecessary stretching it, and they're not giving us any closure. So what's the point of wasting so much time watching something? I don't know if you all know this, but I was waiting for someone to actually ask me, sir, why are they calling it manifest? Generally, we think manifestation means realizing our thoughts, right? But with respect to aviation, very few people know this actually. Manifest means. In India, very few people know. Abroad, they teach aviation at school level, basics. So they are not that strangers to their basic knowledge of CPL. We should do a petition, teach aviation as a part of your 10+2 or something there. People would be more happy. Petitions and all, how do they get answered? Everybody be on the lookout. Okay, right now. So we'll assume the call is made and I'm going to focus on the read back right now. Okay. Or instead of that, why not we go ahead with the same call only, Rani? Start transmitting. The same question is given to you. You start your call, report air prox, listen to the ATC, give read back, and your call. Okay. Are you up for it?
Affirm, sir.
Chalo. You can start transmitting. Do not look on the board. Do not see what I'm writing. You just focus on your log. Don't see up. I want you all to simulate the exact ATC environment. In the ATC examination, in the WPC examination, the examiner will be behind you. You will be just here. Other people will be surrounding you. You might not feel comfortable at all. You just focus on your paper, on your logs, on your chart, on your question paper. That's it. All right. You can transmit. And yes, students, everybody has to write what the pilot is saying, what ATC is saying in a proper chronology. This log, everybody will be sending me a picture of this log on WhatsApp after the call is done, including the PIC right now. That is, start. Whenever you're ready, you start. I hope you're looking at the chart and giving it, okay? And one more point before you start, don't copy paste the answers that Sajal or Zanvi has given. Make your own call. Even if it's ditto after you make your own call, I don't mind. All right? Sure.
Varanasi control. Victor Tango Romeo Sierra Kilo on 119er. Air prox safety not assured. Victor Tango Romeo Sierra Kilo over Ibuda 1500 saw Boeing 737 passed over our flight level from right to left at about 4 nautical mile. Present position Alpha 7901, flight level 270, 40 DME, outbound Jabalpur, radial 094, estimate Ario 1520, ETA Ranchi 1550,
Victor Tango Romeo Sierra Kilo Varanasi control. Speak slower. Say again all after present position.
I say again, present position, flight level, correction, Alpha 791, flight level 270, 40 DME, outbound Jabalpur, radial 094, estimate Ario 1520, ETA Ranchi 1550.
Victor Tango station calling Varanasi control. Say again call sign.
I say again, Victor Tango, Romeo Sierra Kilo.
Okay. Rani, how was the experience? In exams,
Nice.
you'll be told go to next question if the question is over. Okay. Nice. कैसा था एक्सपीरियंस आपका बताओ अच्छे से नर्वस नॉट नर्वस वर यू एबल टू राइट या पहले ही लिख रखा था आपने
नर्वस हूँ और पास्ट में वाराणसी का लोकेशन इंडियल वो याद नहीं आ रहा था लाइक VIBN so I wrote वाराणसी spelling there.
कैरी ऑन स्टूडेंट्स नोबडी सेंड मी लॉग। क्या बोला था? कॉल खत्म होते ही सबको लॉग भेजना है। आप ये छोटे छोटे इंस्ट्रक्शंस नहीं फॉलो करोगे, आपका वीडियो ऑफ है, मतलब आप लोग पढ़ नहीं रहे हो। फिर सर को आएगा गुस्सा, फिर सर पढ़ाएंगे नहीं आपको, ठीक है ना? What's happening? Nobody is sending it to me. You're not interested, then leave the class, okay? Yeah, carry on. Rani, carry on.
यस और कॉल मैंने पहले मतलब लिखा नहीं था बट मैप देख के मतलब पहले बनाया था माइंड में।
पहले बना लिया था माइंड में, ओके। कुछ एरर्स आपके कॉल में दिख रहे हैं आपको? स्टडी करो, अपना लॉग देखो, अच्छे से देखो, एज ए एग्जामिनर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखो, जो भी आपको लगता है अगर आप एग्जामिनर होते तो, एंड ट्राई टू spot if there are any mistakes or not. और नहीं है तो बोलो सर मुझे तो नहीं दिख रहे मिस्टेक्स। दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एक्सरसाइज जो आपको अभी बता रहा हूँ मैं। दिस विल हेल्प यू गिव बेटर एंड बेटर कॉल्स एज यू गो अहेड।
नहीं दिख रहा है सर।
ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम। Usaid, how do you think about the call? Do you spot any mistakes?
Negative, sir.
अच्छा, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? नो प्रॉब्लम, it's my job to show you all, but it's your job to make sure you all don't do it again. So, Rani, I'm very happy to see, बहुत अच्छा कॉल लिया आपने। ओके, रेट ऑफ स्पीच के बारे में क्या लग रहा है आपको? आपको लग रहा है आप स्लो हो कि फास्ट हो?
सर पहले मैं स्लो थी तो थोड़ा फास्ट किया मतलब
बट आपको कैसे लगा कि आप स्लो थी?
मैं एक एक वर्ड लिखती हूँ और एक एक वर्ड बोल रही थी। राइटिंग थोड़ा मेरा स्लो है।
बट ये किसने बोला आप स्लो? आपको खुद को लगता है?
हाँ सर पहले मैंने रिकॉर्डिंग की थी तो आप बोले कि थोड़ा फास्ट हो सकता है इससे तो मुझे लगा और फास्ट लिखूं मैं।
हम्म। ये थोड़ा ज्यादा फास्ट है, ठीक है? अभी देखो एग्जाम्स में क्या होता है, द एग्जामिनर्स आर टायर्ड, ओके? They might want to have a good comfortable rate of speech every now and then, at least, if not always. The speed that you have right now, don't compare, students, don't compare your speeds with real life pilot speeds because they don't have to log, okay? Neither does the ATCs log a few key points. For you, you have to understand you cannot be too fast, you cannot be too slow. Talking about rate of speech, it has to be less than 100 words per minute. Okay. Whenever there are these 2 points are there in your manual of RT, okay? Whenever you know that the other person has to log, you have to speak slower. So you always try to be on the slower side, not on the faster side. So आपने बहुत अच्छा improvement किया है रानी with respect to the slow, but आप थोड़ा ज्यादा fast जा रहे हो, थोड़ा आपको slow होना है। Can you do it?
कौन सा?
So आपका वो वरी अब है ही नहीं। जो आपका एक वरी था कि मैं लॉग कर पाऊंगी कि नहीं लाइव कॉल में, आई थिंक दैट वरी इज गॉन। When a student becomes fast and is able to write the whole call, then your writing and logging and speaking and logging is not an issue anymore because you have to go on the slower side, but you're already fast. So just be a little more slow. Go slow, go easy, and you'll be slow. That's it. Okay, students. First point. Still, not everybody has sent me the logs on WhatsApp. Do you want me to call out your names? आपने कॉल नहीं भी लिखा है ना तो मुझे एम्प्टी पेज भेज दो कि सर हमने नहीं लिखा कॉल, बट फॉलो द इंस्ट्रक्शंस प्लीज। इट्स अ मास्टर क्लास, कम ऑन, नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग सच silly things, not follow instructions. So you rather go and do some flag hoisting and watch a recording if you don't want to attend live then. रानी तुम्हारा लॉग नहीं आया मेरे पास.
यस सेंड कर.
Students, one important point I want you all to see: frequencies. Okay, everybody note this. VHF frequencies have spacing. Okay, spacing between two channels can be 25 kilohertz or 8.33 kilohertz. Earlier, it was 25. Now we need more channels, so we have reduced the spacing to 8.33 kilohertz. Now, wherever there is doubt or there are channels where you have only 25 kilohertz spacing, frequencies have to be read up to 5 digits. Okay, remember that. 5 digits. Whenever you have 8.33 kilohertz along with 25 kilohertz, whenever that is the case, then you have to have all 6 digits spoken out. This is a very important term, can be asked to you in your part 2 Viva or question number 5 of part 1. Only 25 kilohertz spacing, you can use up to 5 digits of transmission because your VHF panels will not allow you to get the 6th digit actually. But whenever there is a 8.33 kilohertz given to you, then even if you are using 25 kilohertz frequency, but you're tuned to use 8.33 kilohertz spacing frequencies, the modern equipments will be like that. Then on your VHF panel, you will get 6 digits. That's why you need to transmit in 6 digits. Okay. As a rule for frequency, what do you learn? Examples for frequency. If you have a frequency 118.000, if you have last 2 zeros, you can skip transmitting these two. So even if you have 000, how will you read out the frequency? 118.0. This has to be said. रानी आपने मुझे 119er ही बोला है. 119er नहीं बोल सकते हम frequency में. 1 decimal value at least I need if there are more zeros. And if I have another example where I say 119.125, let's say, then this I have to say on 119.125 full. Considering if it is 8.33 kilohertz. If it is 25 kilohertz spacing only, so you'll write this 833 kilohertz and 25 kilohertz both. And if it is only 25 kilohertz spacing thing, then you'll say 119.12 like this. This is more important for technical aspects with respect to question part 2 or with respect to your, what do we call it? Question number 5. But when you are reading from the chart, and if you get a third example like this, if you get an example, say 119.100, then this you can read it as 119.1. The last 2 zeros can be skipped. If you get 119.000, this again will go to 119.0. Only the last 2 are going to be skipped. It is not a decimal system where 0.0 you will not say that. Frequencies, you have to explain the decimal also. Otherwise, your frequency will not be accepted as a correct transmission in your RT. It will carry penalty in terms of reduction of marks in the examination. Even though the call would be perfect, this could be a point where examiner would say, if you don't know how to transmit frequencies, go back, learn and come back in the next exam. Simple. Even if you get a good mark, the examiner might prove a point like that. So, रानी आपके चार्ट पे क्या दिख रहा है यहाँ पे? Frequency, exact numbers क्या लिखे हैं चार्ट पे?
119.0.
119.0. Only this much is written, or do you have more 2 digits after decimal?
No, this much.
So I have to say this completely as a rule. I cannot skip that. Okay? Will you remember this?
Affirm, sir.
अच्छे से याद करना. ये एक error है हमारा. Second error, say estimating, because right now you are estimating in real time. Okay, simple word, estimating. Okay. That's it. Go a little slow now. and read frequencies properly. Okay. A very good thing was in real time, I said speak slower because I found for me the pilot was fast. And I said say again after present position. Yesterday, we learned something. What should be the correct way to respond when we are using correction? So, when we are using correction, we start with the last correct transmission. So you said flight level, and this is what you wanted to correct. Before this, your last correct was present position. So you could have started with respect to the exact manual what we have learned, you could have said. So I like how you said, I say again. Then you said present position, flight level. Then you said correction. Up to here, everything is good. When we say correction, we start again with the last correct part before the error. So what does it mean? You'd say correction, then you'll say again, present position, alpha 79er1, flight level 270. I'm just doing your call, just saying how the correction should have been made. Correction, so you wanted to change the flight level only. So you start with the last correct part, and then you start with the continue with the correct part. So you say present position, last correct part, and then the correction. Alpha 79er1, flight level 27040 DME, outbound Jabalpur, radial, estimating ETA Ranchi. I could make out you were a little slow in the other part and you were trying to control your rate of speech there and then. It was a very good thing to see. It shows me that you have a great situational awareness. With this kind of situational awareness, students, you can always believe that your chances of clearing the exam are just increasing. So hats off to that, because this, I think, is your first live call. And doing that in your first live calls is a very good sign. But we have to ensure that we look out for our mistakes with the way I'm showing, and we work on and we remember. And now time for you to discuss what's on your mind with the observation I've shared with you.
सर जो सीक्वेंस है मतलब रेडियल पहले लेनी है या रूट पहले लेना है, ये जो सीक्वेंस है हम मतलब चेंज कर सकते हैं ना, या वही सीक्वेंस में आना चाहिए?
Up to your comfort and your logical reasoning, you can shift the sequences. But because any other aircraft has passed my flight level, logically I would want to say my flight level first as soon as I can with respect to my airprox call only. So if I would have thought about it, I would have said over our flight level 270 from left to right at about 4 nautical miles. Present position, flight level 270, radial DME, route. Fine. Whatever you think first. Generally, radial DME give you a distance reference and directional reference. That is one important element. Route tells you whether you are on route or not. Another important element. Flight level, another important element. So the structuring is fine. The way you feel comfortable, you can do. But sometimes certain elements become a part of your priority of the call. That can be said first, and then rest of the information can be mixed the way you want to mix. No issues. Whatever you feel right that way. Your call will be the final call. Remember, you are the PIC. So the responsibility will be yours. So आप अपने हिसाब से कर सकते हो, कोई इश्यू नहीं है. Maybe that's why वो correction हुआ, वो नहीं होना चाहिए था. मैं समझ रहा हूँ आप क्या बोलना चाह रहे हो. आप वहां फ्लाइट लेवल से शुरू करते तो चल जाता, कोई इश्यू नहीं था वहां पे, क्योंकि यहाँ पे मुझे और कोई करेक्शन दिख नहीं रहा है.
इस पे ऊपर जो कॉल दिया था उसमें पहले रूट लिया था, बाद में फ्लाइट लेवल, सो आई थॉट कि पहले अब फ्लाइट लेवल से स्टार्ट नहीं कर सकते.
ऊपर कौन सा कॉल?
तो अभी जो स्टार्टिंग दिया तो फिर से
सजल का कॉल कि जानवी का कॉल?
मेरा ही, बट प्रेजेंट पोजीशन में मैंने पहले रूट लिया था, बाद में फ्लाइट लेवल.
वो आप चेंज कर सकते हो, उसमें क्या हुआ. आपने पहले वाला कॉल थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे लिया है, से अगेन में, रीड बैक में. रीड बैक नहीं है ना, रीड बैक में आपको सेम टू सेम रखना होता है जो आपको मिला होता है. बट आपने अपना कॉल दिया है, उस हिसाब से आप एलिमेंट सेम रख रहे हो, कुछ चेंज नहीं हुआ है. स्ट्रक्चरिंग कैन बी डिफरेंट, नो प्रॉब्लम. सारे एलिमेंट्स होने चाहिए वहां पे. अच्छा, इसलिए आपने ऊपर से देख के लिख रहे थे, तो आपने लॉजिकली तो फ्लाइट लेवल बोल दिया, फिर आपने ऊपर देखा तो आपको पता चला अरे मैंने ये मिस कर दिया. तो यहाँ करेक्शन नहीं बोलोगे ना, फ्लाइट लेवल के बाद अल्फा 791 जो भी था आपका रूट डाल दो, चलेगा, कोई इश्यू नहीं है वहां पे. समझ रहे हो ना आप? What are the points, Rani? What are the points?
Negative, sir.
Will you be able to work on these areas of improvement?
Affirmative.
Why did you make the mistake of the frequency? आपने शायद वो पार्ट याद नहीं आया आपको जो हमने फ्रीक्वेंसीज पढ़ी थी शुरू में.
ज्यादा बट सर 0 था तो मुझे लगा मीनिंग नहीं कर पाएगा तो मैंने वैसे ही
मुझे लगा और जो मैंने पढ़ा था उसमें डिफरेंस क्यों आ रहा है?
तो भूल गई.
कोई बात नहीं, अभी याद रहेंगे ना. I hope you'll remember now.
Affirmative.
Remember this, everyone. Only 25 kilohertz spacing up to 5 digits, 8.33 and 25 up to 6 digits. If the last 2 digits are 0, they can be skipped, but the 4 digits have to be transmitted mandatorily. Everyone, this is golden for you. I don't mind you making errors if you realize why you have made it and if you consider that, okay, I'll avoid making mistakes in the future. Simple. Very nice. Gurpreet, you had a doubt? Tell me.
Yes, sir. Sir, in Kolkata control, there is a 5-digit frequency. 132.45.
उसका मतलब यहाँ पे 25 किलोहर्ट्ज का है स्पेसिंग. डाउट क्या है?
सर इस रिजॉल्व 0 नहीं लिखा तो नहीं बोलना है.
कौन सा 0?
सर सर ये इसके आगे लिखा नहीं है ना तो ओके सर. ठीक है सर.
ठीक है, नहीं 0 तो नहीं लिखा है
जी.
अवेलेबल ही नहीं है. 5 डिजिट में ही अवेलेबल है वो फ्रीक्वेंसी. ट्रांसमिट कैसे करोगे आप?
कोलकाता कंट्रोल ऑन 132.45.
बस करेक्ट है. कुछ नहीं दिया है वो बोलना ही नहीं है आपको, गेस करना ही नहीं है. 5 है कि 0 है कि 2 है हमें नहीं पता, हमें गेस भी नहीं करना है. वी कैन नॉट अज्यूम इट्स 0. समझे क्यों? बिकॉज half of the frequencies will only be there in 5 digits. Half of the frequencies, some of them will be in 5, some of them will be in 6, depending upon the spacing and the system used on board the aircraft. And क्या कॉल है? कोलकाता कंट्रोल ऑन 132.5. ऐसे थोड़ी ना बोलते हैं. कोलकाता कंट्रोल विक्टर टैंगो गोल्फ रोमियो पापा ऑन 132.45, right?
Affirm, sir. Victor Tango Golf Romeo Papa.
Very good. Good response. Any questions? Pritam, Sajal, Nukul, Zanvi, Vignesh, Siddharth, Usaid.
सर हम फ्रीक्वेंसी हर कॉल में बता सकते हैं ना?
फ्रीक्वेंसी इनिशियल कांटेक्ट पे बोलना जरूरी होता है कोई भी एटीसी से. हर कॉल में नहीं बोलोगे चलेगा. Once the communication is established on a particular channel, if you don't mention the frequency, it's all right.
सर लेकिन बताएंगे तो सही रहेगा.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, sir.
Sometimes you have to avoid giving unnecessary information in your calls, which is not related to the importance of your safety parameters or safety features. If you don't have any such issue with respect to that, then you can keep saying your frequency. But if you have something that is more important as a concern, and there, if you don't speak things that are not mandatory, it's fine. That is what is required of you. But it's okay. You can always mention the frequency. No issues there. Victor Tango Romeo Sierra Kilo, go ahead.
सर सेटिंग कोर्स क्या होता है?
Setting course means I have been given a radial. Okay. On my VOR indicator, I turn the knob to align my VOR with the required radial, and my VOR pointer will point to that. And with respect to the point, whichever direction is closer for me to turn, I will turn. And when my radial is aligned or the course deviation indicator is in the center, by the time it doesn't come in the center, you have to either turn right or turn left. The moment it comes in the center, you just follow that heading. That is how you actually navigate. So when we say setting course, it means a new radial is given to you And when you say that, okay, I'm going to fly on that radial now, so I'm going to go ahead with those directions now, whatever directions I've got, that is the meaning of setting course. What do we actually do? We choose the VOR indicator reference radial with the radial given to us with respect to the ATC. If the ATC says that turn right radial 275, thereafter it will descend to flight level 150, then you'll say turning right for radial 275. Thereafter will descend to flight level 150. Setting course, you can say that. When you say setting course, generally we use setting course whenever we have determined a destination and we are going to start from now, start our turns or maneuvers to go ahead towards that destination. So setting course, generally we set a course, the first radial, generally we do that. That's when we say we are setting course. So it means that now I am starting a new mission or a directed mission to go to that particular point. That point generally is a destination only. So whenever you'll request for emergency landing or diversions which was not planned or maybe not planned right now, then if you say request instructions to set course to that particular airport, then they'll start with one direction, one radial, and then next, and then next. So that's when you say setting course. Does that help you understand, Rani?
Affirm, sir. Victor Tango Romeo Sierra Kilo.
Very good. Siddharth, what's on your mind?
Sir, can you just tell me like how to hypothetically calculate the DME distance?
Okay. Usaid, what's your doubt?
Sorry, sir, by mistake. Victor Tango informs Sarah Delta.
वाह, मतलब लाइफ में एक भी डाउट नहीं है. I like that clarity. Very good. That was a joke. कोई तो हंस दो यार. लाइक सर हम क्लास में हंसेंगे तो आप और डांट दोगे. हम लाइक आप डांट से डर रहे हो? हाँ, रिजल्ट से नहीं डर लग रहा आपको? So this is for everyone now, not just Siddharth. How do I determine my hypothetical DME? Can everyone see the chart?
Affirm, sir.
ये कौन भाई साहब अफर्म बोल रहे हैं मुझे?
Sir,
Call sign
Siddharth
क्यों नहीं दे रहे? Why not giving me call sign, students? Whoever is replying, at least give me a call sign.
Affirm Victor Tango Sierra India Delta.
And थोड़ा smile भी कर लो यार, इतने उदास क्यों लग रहे हो?
That's
I know. The tone, I'm just going on the tone. You have to be upbeat, students, in the exams. A little upbeat, not overconfident. In life, even if you're not feeling upbeat, it's fine. But be an actor in the case of the examination, at least. You know, you should see me when I'm not taking a class. Most of the times I'm like this, sad person in my life, But when I'm working, I feel happy. Not always, I'm just sharing, we have to be in a certain way in certain settings. We cannot let our lack of self-control impact our professionalism, That is something, if we can manage, then that really helps us grow more in our careers. Usaid अजय उसैद रो भी रहे हो, हंस भी रहे हो. Reactions बाकियों के नहीं दिख रहे हैं मुझे. Shits, come on, it's a big day in our country. We should be celebrating, right? So how do you determine your DME? Now, this is one technique. I'm just wondering if other people other than Siddharth can see this.
Victor Tango Romeo Bravo Victor.
Students, I'm planning to wrap up the lecture at 1 o'clock, so I'm not giving you any break. Please bear with me. If you want, I'll give you a 5-minute breather, everyone. Come back at 12:45. Okay, take a breather and come back at 12:45. Okay, take a 5-minute breather. Please come back. Okay, we are going to wrap up at 1 o'clock, students. प्रीतम आप ब्रेक नहीं ले रहे हो? आप क्या कर रहे हो स्क्रीन पे प्रीतम? क्या दिखाना चाह रहे हो बताओ?
Nothing, sir. Victor Tango Delta Alpha, sir. I was
करो
just
ना ट्राई, अच्छा लगेगा. आप एक्सप्लेन करो, बाकी लोग
I
देख
was
नहीं रहे
just
तो
playing.
क्या
I
हुआ?
thought it was with my screen.
नहीं नहीं करो ना, अच्छा लग रहा है. मैं हमेशा से देखना चाहता हूँ, अगर लोग भी कर सकते हैं तो लाइक वी कैन सी यू नो. प्रीतम आपका वेरीफाइड है, डीएमई कैसे निकालना है?
Like I use the structure for, like, for example, अहमदाबाद का यहाँ पे है, so it's 100 nautical miles. So approx
और चार्ट पे करके दिखाओ ना, मेरे को देखने दो. कोई करता है तो कैसे लगता है? उसायद भी कुछ ट्राई कर रहा है, आप ट्राई करो. उसायद आप नागपुर के यहाँ कुछ करके देखो. आप प्रीतम एक्सप्लेन भी करो माउस के साथ अपने, जो जैसे ट्राई कर रहे थे अभी.
So for example, नागपुर का अभी 50 nautical mile है. अभी नहीं हो रहा है.
होएगा होएगा. अहमदाबाद पे जाओ ना, मैं अहमदाबाद पे ध्यान दे रहा हूँ.
नहीं सर, अभी नहीं हो रहा है.
शायद उसायद जो लास्ट पर्सन था वो कर रहा है शायद. आ गया, अभी आ गया देखो.
So for example, अभी अहमदाबाद से यहाँ.
अरे उसायद 1 मिनट रुक जाओ.
Okay,
आप
sir.
करो या प्रीतम आप करो. उसायद वेट.
Okay, sir.
So for example, अहमदाबाद से यहाँ. No, it's not working.
आप समझाओ. चलो नहीं वर्क कर रहा, बीच बीच में करेगा, कोई बात नहीं. या अहमदाबाद से यहाँ है, सो कैरी ऑन.
Ahmedabad से Boda is like 100 nautical miles. So approx I'll take the distance, like imaginary distance, hypothetical distance, and I'm guessing like the control. यहाँ पे it's gonna be another 100 nautical mile.
या करेक्ट जा रहे हो. सही है, सही है. इक्विडिस्टेंट ना?
हाँ, equal
सही है,
distance like
सही है.
approx.
वही स्ट्रैटेजी हम फॉलो करने वाले हैं. गुड, सही सही. कुछ तो मार्किंग से समझ में आया मुझे. वेरी नाइस. ये शायद तुम क्या कर रहे हो? हाँ
सर यहाँ पर सर 25 नॉटिकल माइल्स है सर, ये टावर के लिए है, डिस्टेंस गिवन है.
हाँ
सर ये 50 अप्रोच, दिस इज अप्रोच.
हाँ.
So 25, 50, sir, what is the, sir, we will measure the equal gap and sir, this can be 100.
वेरी
The,
गुड, वेरी गुड. सही
the
कर रहे
voltage
हो.
can be
वाह
100.
उस्ताद, वाह यार उस्ताद, इम्प्रेसिव.
And
वाह, इतनी
sir,
उम्मीद नहीं रख रहा था तुमसे, मैं इतनी जल्दी सीख जाओगे ये सब. इम्प्रेसिव.
yes, sir.
आई एम पॉजिटिवली इम्प्रेसिव.
Sir, yeah, here is 150.
बस शांति शांति, बस भोपाल नहीं जाना मुझे, रुक जाओ. मैंने सुना है वैसे इंदौर में बहुत अच्छा खाना मिलता है, but मेरे को ठीक है, इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. चलो, आई एम टेकिंग अ ब्रीदर फॉर 2 minutes. 12:45 विल कम बैक. सिद्धार्थ को दिखाएंगे कैसे करना है, एंड कुछ टाइम बचेगा तो कुछ और करेंगे. आई वांट टू गिव अ कपल ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस, सो जस्ट गिव मी 2 minutes. आई विल आल्सो टेक अ ब्रीदर, स्टूडेंट्स. Okay, welcome back. It takes practice to be comfortable with short breaks, Generally, if you're not practiced, long ago I used to work somewhere, so we used to get breaks for 15 minutes. And with practice, we realized 15 minutes are the world, when it comes to taking a break. And people used to do so much in those 15 minutes, have a meal, breakfast, or, go for breaks outside. And now that we don't have the practice, even 15, 20 minutes seems like, okay, it just rushes, Okay. Is everybody here? Siddharth, are you here?
From Victor Tango Sierra India Delta.
Okay. Okay. A very simple thing, just like Preetham and Usaid were saying. In exams, you can use anything hypothetically. But what I'm teaching you right now is close to the realistic with respect to whatever chart you see. Okay. Because on your actual charts also, everything will be scaled down, but every unit will be there. Generally, your chart scales are reduced down to 1 is to 50,000 or 1 is to 5 lakh or 1 is to 10 lakhs, the unit down ratio, so that they can incorporate realistic distances on your charts. So I think is 1 is to 1 million, that is 1 is to 1,000,000 is generally what we see as a scale down in your Jepson charts. But you should always see it in a border where of a chart there's a border, it will be written down what the ratio is. Anyway, these charts are very hypothetical, Here, how do you determine? Do you look for the first reference given to you? Let's take an example of Ahmedabad. First reference with respect to distance. What do I see? I see Ahmedabad VOR. Now I know my VOR are actually hexagons. So this is a wrong symbol, not a realistic symbol. But fine. For us, this is VOR. So we're going to follow this VOR. How do we know? We see this legend. There's this legend here. I've taken a screenshot, so I cannot show you the whole legend. Now, with respect to this, take any straight line given to you. Now, what is a straight line? It's an ATS route. So let's take this ATS route. I've got a straight line. And of course, I'll be following the route. Students, I don't think you can see the animation on the screen. Anyone who had any doubt on this, or maybe not, just verify this once and for all right now. Okay, I don't know what you're able to see, students. Are you able to see what I'm doing right now?
Affirm, sir.
Okay, I cannot see it for some reason. Thank you for confirming. Zanvi, are you confirming? Did you confirm?
Affirm, sir. Victor Tango Zulu November Victor.
Stop sharing. Okay, I think, yeah, I know. Wait, just 1 minute, okay, students? Okay. We'll edit the picture directly then. All right. I'll share now. Now tell me, okay? So we are taking Ahmedabad. Yeah. So we are taking Ahmedabad over here. Actual VOR symbol on your charts would be hexagon. Sometimes they'll be given to you in a box like this. The different VOR combinations, so there'll be different symbols. Let's just consider this pentagon with respect to our charts. How do you know what is the meaning of what? Every chart will have some legend. Legend will tell you what are the meaning of these symbols on every chart. Okay. So let's go back to Ahmedabad. Now we first look for any directional, any distance reference. We see this 30 nautical miles. We see 25 nautical miles. And we see 100 nautical miles. These three are instantly visible with respect to Ahmedabad. So you focus, you have to center your focus somewhere. Now that I've focused here, I look for a straight line. The straight lines are nothing but our routes over here, routes. I'll take this for example. Now I see where is 30 nautical miles intersecting on this route? It is intersecting here, right? The blue CTR dotted line blue is intersecting here. My aircraft here, if my aircraft is here, my aircraft will be flying out of Ahmedabad. So my aircraft is outbound Ahmedabad VOR, and the DME is the same value, 30 DME outbound. Why? Because I found the intersection of this 30 nautical mile. This 30 nautical mile is determining the radius, CTR radius completely. So if my aircraft is here, it will be 30 nautical miles on Golf 45, Golf 72. If my aircraft is here, it will be 30 DME. If my aircraft is here, it will be 30 DME. Nautical mile DME, same reference, same units. Now, this is my first reference. I will assume this distance. I'll take this unit. For me, this unit, this much, is 30 nautical mile. This unit for me is 30 nautical mile. If I double this unit, this point will become 60 nautical mile. And if I further double it, this point will become 90 nautical miles. It means if my aircraft comes this point, my aircraft is 60 DME outbound Ahmedabad. And if my aircraft reaches this point, my aircraft comes at 900 DME. Here also 60 DME, not 60. 60 is not a number. 900 DME outbound Ahmedabad. And if I have to reduce it, so what if I'm less than 30? How do I figure it out? Then you cut 30 by half, the first unit. So you know this much is 15 nautical miles. So now you have references. Now, if this smaller one, if you divide in 3 parts, every part gives you 5 nautical miles. So now you know this much length, I'll mark it in blue. This much length is approximately 10 nautical miles. So 10 DME. And exactly you see the difference here. It is exactly 10. So 90 plus 10 gives you 100, which is intersection. So our approximation becomes accurate in this strategy with respect to this chart. Okay. So this is how you will determine your hypothetical DMEs in your exams. Siddharth, practice it for a few examples and see if it works for you. But I hope you have understood the example here.
Affirm, sir. Victor Tango Sierra India Delta.
30, 15. This is 15. So 15, 15, 15, 15. I've got my range like this. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105. You get it. So now you know if you are anywhere between these points, you can safely approximate your DME. I hope everybody knows this. Usaid, what's your doubt?
Sir, if question says, sir, we are 5 nautical miles from Bhopal. So it means, sir, from Bhopal means outbound.
From is outbound, to is inbound. Yes.
And sir, they say, sir, 10 nautical mile from the Bhopal. So 10 nautical mile will be become DM.
या बोल सकते हो. अगर आप VOR आपका भोपाल से ट्यून्ड है तो 10 नॉटिकल माइल DME बन जाता है आपका DME.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
अगर आपका VOR इंदौर है तो आप भोपाल से DME नहीं बोलोगे, भोपाल से 10 नॉटिकल माइल दैट इज 10 नॉटिकल माइल, लेकिन DME इंदौर से ही बोलोगे आप. ऐसा होता है.
ओके.
बट जनरली इतना आप भोपाल के पास होगे तो कहीं ना कहीं आपको VOR ट्यूनिंग भोपाल से ही दी जाएगी आपको. Jyotsna, any questions? How's it going on for you? Nukul, Sajal, any questions?
Negative. Victor Tango November Kilo Charlie.
Negative, sir. Victor Tango Juliet Yankee Oscar.
Negative, sir. Victor Tango Sierra Juliet Lima.
Zulu November Victor, correction. Victor November Victor. That is Victor Tango Zulu November Victor. How are you feeling now? Are you feeling that you're getting better and better with all the possible errors we could make?
Affirm, sir. I'm feeling more confident than before. Victor, November, Victor.
I like this reply. Very good. Very good. Why did you use this reply? Because ATC communicated you with the abbreviated way, call sign. So you also replied in the abbreviated call sign. Very nice. Very good. Very good. Okay, students, we are reaching the time where I have to release you all today. So we have a couple of more minutes. Anybody has any other doubts you'd want to discuss? Raise your hand. Please feel free to discuss. Or you can just directly, what do we say? Yeah, I can see everybody's screen
Speak.
now. Speak, yeah, speak. Confidence aa raha hai usse. Really nice to see that. Yeah, Siddharth,
थैंक
tell
यू
me.
सर, थैंक यू सर। मेरा एक डाउट है सर, आपने काफी बार बताया है, लेकिन सर मेरा क्लियर नहीं हो पा रहा सर। रिपोर्ट रीचिंग, इसका मतलब समझ नहीं आ रहा।
उसैद, आप बॉम्बे की फ्लाइट ले लो और पहुंचने पे मुझे बता देना। रिपोर्ट रीचिंग।
रिपोर्ट रीचिंग, ओके सर।
आई बात समझ?
यस सर, यस
कब आ रहे हो?
सर। सर सुन,
चलो ठीक है। सिद्धार्थ, व्हाट्स योर डाउट?
So like this is a confusion that I usually face. Like सर अगर हम अहमदाबाद में है और हम लोग 30 नॉटिकल माइल्स पे जो इंटरसेक्शन है, अगर हमारे क्वेश्चन में हमको ये आता है कि यू आर एट 30 नॉटिकल माइल्स आउटबाउंड, ओके, तो सर हम लोग वो आउटबाउंड है तो बेसिकली आई कैन एज अ पायलट आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट वी आर इन मोशन, ठीक है। तो कॉल देते टाइम तो हम 30 नॉटिकल माइल्स से बाहर निकल जाएंगे, तो हमको जो नेक्स्ट एटीसी है उनको ही कॉल देना है ना कि टावर को।
First thing, it's not 30, it's 30. Okay?
सॉरी सर।
No, it's okay. I'm just saying. Sorry नहीं, मेरा काम है वो बताना। छोटी छोटी मिस्टेक्स में हमारा एग्जाम्स रह जाती हैं। यहाँ पे students, this is a very good question. I see many people ask me with navigation also such questions in navigation also. That's in a question, in an examination situation, I'm being given one DME, but by the time I'm giving a call or making calculations, I am in motion. So my DME could increase if I'm outbound or decrease if I'm inbound. So what do I take? Right? Now understand the question that you see in the exam, the question that you see in the exam, for you as a pilot, it's an indication from the navigation instruments. For you as a pilot to take any call with respect to an action plan, any decision with respect to an action, if you have to do it, you do it with respect to the instrument based information you received. Now, when you want to make a decision, you look at your instruments, you'll check your ground speed, you'll check your altitude, correction, you'll check your true airspeed, you'll check your altitude, you will check your radial DME. Whatever you see instantly, based upon that, you will take your decisions, irrespective of the fact that you are in motion. This is how you'll be making your call. In the exams, you go with the value given to you in the question in order to take your decisions. So if 30 nautical mile tells you have to speak with tower with respect to that situation, you are going to talk to tower. Simple. Once the call is made, decision is made, either tower will tell you to go to the next ATC by themselves, or once that is resolved, you will by yourself call to the next ATC. But you go ahead with what you see. Don't think otherwise, because that's your job to decide your plan of action with respect to what you see. Got it, students?
Affirm Victor Tango Sierra.
Affirm Victor Tango got from you, Papa.
We have one more question. We don't have to acknowledge for speak slower. You acknowledge speaking slower by speaking slow. You don't have to say speaking slower. Good question. Very good question. Well done, Pooja. Very nice. You don't have to say speaking slower. You won't have to give a readback of speak slower also. If you want, you can give a readback as a mandatory thing with respect to repeating everything. But even if you don't say that, it's fine. Generally, if you want to stick to the basics, if somebody says speak slower and go, then you can say speak slower. And then you can give your readback. Nobody is going to deduct the marks also. But that one part is not mandatory to be said again. But whenever you're transmitting any word twice, then you have to say words twice. Remember that, okay? Or if you want, you can say speaking slower. I don't mind if you use that. It's just a good acknowledgement, but it's not mandatory. Here in this example, we'll not be losing any marks. Chalo students, if you have any more questions, drop me a message and I'll see you tomorrow. And we'll be practicing more. We'll be learning more situations. And I'm not sure, but I'm hoping if we get time, we should also conduct one more class on a weekend, that is Saturday. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to squeeze that time out so that, we do a little more. If we are doing a class on the weekend Saturday, then it will be very casual and fun also. So we'll enjoy and we'll study. But I'll advise that to you all tomorrow only during the end of tomorrow's time, tomorrow's lecture. Read well, study well. I have a question paper with respect to which I would want you all to prepare and practice. So the instructions that I was talking about, couple of instructions with respect to the read back and all, we'll start with that. And then we will see a paper, we'll time it 25 minutes, and I'll be assigning in real time. So I'll give a few students that you are going to be taking the calls, but which student will take which call will not be said. So I'll just take your call sign and you'll take the first call. When I say go to the next question, I'll take another student's call sign. So whatever situation was there, from there, the other student has to take the call. But everybody will follow their own correct thing irrespective of what was there. What you need to focus is the connectivity with respect to the ATC reply. We have to practice this, and I'm expecting at least 4 to 5 students to be practicing HH11 call. So that being said, everyone who has exams in your Delhi, once again, drop me your exam dates right now as you leave the session over WhatsApp. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, students? For RT. Take care, and I'm taking a leave now.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
God from me, Papa.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Bye, sir. Happy Republic Day, sir.
Thank you, sir. Victor Tango Delta Alpha, sir. Sir, this is Victor Tango Delta Alpha, sir.
Tell me, Pritham.
Which question paper you are talking about?
Which question paper you'll get to know tomorrow only.
Okay.
Part 1 will make you practice with papers also, right? Our papers, like whatever we make you practice.
Sure. Okay.
क्या copy paste करने का इरादा है?
No, I thought like you will share the question paper and we have to practice at home.
No, real time. That's why I was expecting you to be done with at least 13. मेरा expectation थोड़ा बढ़ गया था. But now I know कि आपका 2-3 lecture बाकी है, so I'm going to be a little kinder on you with respect to how I approach your questions. Because वो 2 lecture नहीं हुए तो कहीं ना कहीं doubts तो आपके major होंगे ही. But वो 2 lecture कर लोगे 2-3 तो शायद आप better position में आ जाओगे. तो try करो आज करने का. तो कि कल या परसों के कॉल्स में आपको भी प्रैक्टिस मिले, बिकॉज आपको मैं ज्यादा नहीं दे रहा हूँ, बिकॉज आपकी 2 चीजें बची हैं अभी भी, समझ रहे हो? तो 2 करो, वो इंपॉर्टेंट लेक्चर्स है, वहां तो फाइनलाइज हो रहे हैं मास्टर कॉल्स, है ना? जैसे पढ़ो एंड देखो कितना होता है, वैसे तो कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करोगे आप, जितना भी कर रहे हो उतना पहले से तो बेटर ही है, इफ यू रिमेम्बर व्हाट वी हैड स्पोकन. बट अदर देन दैट ट्राई करो ये 2 हो जाए, इनको लेके मत बैठोगे, काफी टाइम हो गया उनको, अभी हो जाना चाहिए, ऐसे सोच के कर लो उनको. 1.5 घंटे के गैप में भी कर लोगे ना, चल जाएगा. 1 घंटे के गैप में भी कर लोगे, चल जाएगा. बट कर लो, खत्म कर लो इनको,
ठीक है ना?
चलो,
बाय
बाय.